So this video was actually supposed to be out last week, but some things happened, and it's coming out this week. This is with Josh from Photo Booth International. He will be on Tuesday's Tent Talk at 9:30 p.m. Eastern to answer all your questions about photo booths. I don't know any of them. It's kind of a low to put in money. There's a word for that. Low barrier to entry to this kind of business. You can start off with one photo booth and just get going, and then invest in more and grow to be pretty big like he did. But anyways, here's the video, and remember the next coming Tent Talk Tuesday at 9:30. All right, guys, Tent Guy here. Today I'm with Josh Pather. Right? Did I just mess that up?
No, that's great.
Josh Pather from Photo Booth International. He's going to get into like the whole photo booth side of the business because it's one of those businesses that has a low barrier to entry. You can pick up one, you can kind of grow from there, or you can add it to your existing stuff if you're already in the rental or event space. So, Josh, why don't you introduce yourself? Give us a little bit of background about what you did before and how you got into this.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Yeah, a little bit of background about myself. I built my first photo booth in November of 2012 over Thanksgiving. So prior to that, I was working at a call center, the credit bureau experience, and I had a normal 9-to-5 job, go in, clock in every day, 401k, health insurance, all the stuff they keep you there with, right? And then I was DJing weddings on the side, so I would be already doing a few weddings here and there, post ads on Craigslist, that kind of stuff. And so I had a buddy of mine. He went to a wedding and he saw a photo booth, and he called me up and he said, "Hey man, we should do this." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm already I'm going to be at the event, right? I already got to carry all my equipment and setup and all that stuff. So like, let's just increase the invoice by, whatever." So I'm like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. So we went to Home Depot, got some MDF 1/2-inch wood. It was so heavy, like the speaker box kind. And then we got black paint, and we built like a speaker box and did the cutouts for the screen and the camera and the keyboard and a little slot for the printer. And so at the time, like I had just an extra computer monitor laying around. And so I used that for the screen. And we had an extra laptop. We used that. And then just a regular inkjet printer that you would buy at Walmart. And so the pictures would actually take like 2 minutes to print out, because it's like you can only fit like 50 photos in there at a time, and it like prints real slow. It's like, right. So, I mean, nowadays like 15 seconds. So that's how we started. We built it, and we posted ads on Craigslist back then. That was real popular. And we got our first event on December 6th, 2012. It was DJ and photo booth for $500.
Oh, nice. So did you have to hurry up and build it over Thanksgiving because you had put it out there and then someone ordered it and you're like, oh crap, I need this like immediately?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, we didn't really have the money to buy a brand new one. Also, I mean, we didn't know whether it was going to work or not. We just we were pretty handy and we're pretty technical. So it's like, hey, we can figure it out, and we went through like buying a lot of the wrong equipment, like wrong touchscreen, like all-in-one computer versus having the computer separate, the stuff that, we kind of learned along the way. So it took a lot of time to figure out the right components and the right camera, do you use like Microsoft webcam or Logitech, different things like that. But yeah, we did that first event, got there, set up. I forgot my laptop to DJ. So back then I DJ'd with 2 iPhones. I remember that was
okay.
And yeah. So we had the 3.5 millimeter, jack. So DJ'd that with two iPhones, and we would set up the photo booth inside this person's bedroom. They had just remodeled their house, and they did like a housewarming party, show off type thing, show like, look at my new place. And so, with the pictures were print out, we would have a little paper cutter. We'll slide the paper cutter and like hand it to the people.
So that it could be the little strip that you normally see instead of a big sheet of paper. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it started. We kept just posting ads wherever we can, networking, calling people, letting people know like, hey, we got a photo booth if you're having an event, whatever, friends and family. Just trying to use all the free resources. I mean, you know how it is when you get started. You know, you don't have much,
Right.
and so yeah, we got some pretty big gigs within the first couple of months. We started growing. We got gigs with Poopery. It's like a bathroom spray, and that was like a $12,000 gig, and that came like 6 months after starting. So it's like June 2013. So I was like, oh, okay, it's going real good, real well. So December 6th was our first event. January 6th, just a month after that, in 2013, they walked into my office and they said, hey, we're moving your job overseas. So we're
Oh,
going to,
okay.
yeah. And so I'm like, okay, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like, I've been here for 3 years. I thought this is going to be my corporate job. You know, I'm going to work my way up the ladder. And I'm like, oh God, this kind of changes, you know, a lot of things. So they gave us an option to either take an entry-level position at the company or take a severance package. So, you know, I felt like I was at a crossroads and had to make a decision. So I was like, hey, if there's ever a time for me to try and be an entrepreneur, it would be now. You know, it's
Right.
not going to be set up like this, because it's hard to leave a job, you know, on your own, right? Unless you put in that, you know, position. So yeah, I ended up taking the severance package. They gave me, you know, like 3 months pay. And then that was like in May of 2013.
Okay.
And then, you know, by then the business was already doing pretty good. But obviously we didn't have no payroll. There's no expenses. There's no overhead. You know, we're operating it out of my condo at the time. And so, you know, as long as I was able to, you know, make, you know, a little bit less than what I brought home from the corporate job, you know, I could still survive. You know, my girlfriend at the time, you know, she was working. So yeah, we did that and then started getting some big gigs. You know, we did the Poopery gig, and then that was basically like they wanted 3 photo booths at a downtown convention center. They wanted like branding. They had a model there. And so they would have this photo booth set up. It would attract the buyers to come into their booth space, look at their product. And they did great with that. Like they collected about 7,000 email addresses in the course of like 4 days.
Nice. So when you got your first big gig, were you still using ones you built, or did you take your severance pay or whatever and buy ones that you knew were just going to be exactly what you needed?
Yeah, we had to upgrade. You know, the ones that we built, like it was the ones that we built, we put on a tripod. So you can imagine like this company spending 50,000 to get a exhibit space and a conference, and then, you know, the look of the tripod wouldn't be good. So we had to like quickly find like a road case style photo booth, and then we used basically like a corrugated plastic. Yeah, so we mounted that on the side, and then we printed on the corrugated plastic to give it the branding, and then we found like some edging to go around to cover the edges basically, and that was our branded photo booth at the time, you know.
Right.
And I loved it. You know, there was nothing around like that, you know, at the time. And so another company saw us there at that event, and then that led to you know, several other, you know, big conferences like that. And so yeah, our first year, surprisingly, we did over 6 figures. We did like 150,000 just in the first year, and we were like blown away. We couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I mean, you were a DJ. Did you just stop doing DJing? Because DJ doesn't bring in like, you know, that, I mean, it's good side income, but it doesn't bring in that much money. So did you just stop doing that and focus on the photo booths, or you just put them together? Like you're going to be at a wedding anyways and do the DJing?
Exactly. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, together. It was, what we realized is like, man, we can make a lot more with the combo pricing. So like what we did was $1,500 or 4 hours of wedding DJ and photo booth, you know.
Right.
And so now it's like, okay, you know, that makes a lot more sense. It makes it easier to go out. And, you know, when you're starting off, you don't have a lot of expenses. So that's, you know, it's a pretty decent gig there to go out.
Right. Yeah, I see something similar to that all the time at a wedding. It's either the DJ is the photo booth person, or the photographer who's going around doing the normal photography stuff also has a photo booth there.
Mm-hmm.
For my wedding, the photo booth was actually from the rental company not the rental company we used, because I use my own stuff, but they were another rental company, and we got the photo booth from them, and they sent a lady. So is that what you find? Like a lot of people who are getting into photo booths, because for everyone, he does sell photo booths, and we'll get into that later. But So what you find people who are getting into it already are in the event space, or are they just brand new thinking that they want to do this, or is it connected to they're already in that world?
I think majority for us and like the stuff that we teach online and, you know, with our advertising and stuff like that, most of our customers are brand new. I'd say about 80%. 20% of them are, you know, they're already existing in the business. But we kind of specialize. Like when I was starting my business, I needed someone to mentor me and tell me like, okay, how do you run payroll? How do you do sales tax? How do you do payroll taxes? Like our first year, I remember like at the end of the year, we went to the accountant and like we went to his office and we didn't know anything about accounting or anything,
Right.
like bookkeeping, balance sheet, profit and loss, nothing like that, net profit. So we go there, we sit with him and he said, oh, okay, you need to cut a $20,000 check to the IRS. And we're like, where's the money? Like, we
Right.
don't have it. You know, what are you talking about? So, you know, we try to teach people, you know, and I'm really passionate about like teaching people like how to, you know, start this business from scratch because it did change my life. It allowed me to get away from a job, you know, and that I was going to be stuck at, you know, at the end of the day, like a call center job, you get, you know, maybe team lead and maybe supervisor and you there the rest of your life. Right.
Right.
Like there was not really much of a future. It was just something easy that, you know, you can manage. And so, yeah, it's a lot of new people that, you know, they want to improve their life or make a side hustle and try
Right.
to do something different. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not just focused on just selling some dude or some lady a photo booth. You want to like train them as in like in the entire business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, and you're right. It is hard. Like my first year of making over a certain amount, I forget what it is in New York State, but if you collect over a certain amount in sales tax, you're no longer a yearly filer. You are a quarterly filer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't know that. Fortunately, like nothing really happened, but then, you know, I had to switch to quarterly. There's a whole bunch of things, the way you pay people, contractors and stuff. Like then I had to pay some labor, fines and stuff. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that you don't know.
Right.
So you want to help people do that too, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we cover a lot of that in our channel. We have a podcast. You know, we have ebooks and books that we teach people. It's not really hard. It's just like if you don't know, then you don't know. You know,
Right.
and it's like if I could just save you from that error that I made, like it'll make me happy. You know, and like there's really no reason for everybody to keep making the same mistake forever. You know, it's like, okay, you need to do this. You need to register LLC. You need to get business insurance. You need to get a business credit card. You need to, you know, check out your sales tax requirements, you know, just basic stuff like that. And foundational stuff, you just do it one time and then you never have to worry about it again.
So obviously you said you want to help people and stuff like that. You do have some training materials and you have a special phone number that you set up for people to contact you. So anyone watching today, Josh is going to give you the phone number and he has some materials for you.
Yeah, guys. So thank you for watching. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a copy of my book. It's called Photo Booth Secrets here. We've sold over 1,000, 2,000 copies of this already. It's helped a lot of people. I share about, you know, how to get started with the industry, some tips and tricks, marketing, that kind of stuff. It's even good if you're in the tent business. You know, you can learn a few things from there, and then also learn about the photo booth business. So if you guys want a copy, text me the word tent to 972-284-0506, and I'm going to get you an ebook copy off that for free.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think, you know, a lot of business owners when they start off, and I felt the same way, like, I just want to rent photo booths. I don't want to deal with the books or the accounting, but I feel like you do have to know some of it enough to where you don't get taken advantage of, you know, because we went through several, you know, accountants, and it's like, you know, the new one will be like, oh, the last guy didn't do it right. And then the last guy didn't do it right. And we have to redo 3 years of accounting. And it's like, this is enough. Like I just went on like Udemy. I bought a course, you know, just like the basics of understanding, like, okay, what's the income? What's the chart of accounts? Just know a little bit about it. And that's just going to save you a lot of headache.
Right. So you mentioned a podcast and a channel. You want to share those, and I'll put those in the link in the description so you can go to those afterwards. But your podcast and channel?
Yeah, it's the YouTube channel, Photo Booth International on YouTube, pbitv.com, I think takes you there. And then the podcast is the Photo Booth International Podcast. So pbipodcast.com will take you there.
Right, and those are obviously all free, so people can learn a bunch of information on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm just some dude. I'm already in the rental business. I want to get into basic photo booth.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into more elaborate later. Like, I don't want to be on site. I don't want to pay someone to be on site. I just want to drop off a photo booth and go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that like a thing, or is it usually just people? It's usually manned.
So I like, I always, you can leave it unmanned. And the only reason you manning it is to really manage the people that are at the event.
Okay.
When you get 1 or 2 drinks in people, they don't know how to act. They're pushing, they're shoving. I remember one time I did an event. I've done thousands of events myself. I'm sure you have, like you always have that one event that sticks in your mind. Like, so I did an event. It was on the 48th floor of the Thanksgiving Tower in Dallas. I went to the bathroom real quick, came back. This guy's taking a photo booth. Picture, he like lifts his legs up and like kicks the screen to it says touch to start, right? This guy kicks the screen for it to start, and I'm like, God, I mean, and it's a nice place too, So what I like to say is, look, you're there to manage the people. It can be done, remotely. Darkroom software is what we use. They have remote booth control, so you can control your photo booth but with not being there. But it's just, it's really your call as to, judging whether the people there are going to,
I gotcha. I was at one wedding. Pretty much every wedding I've been to, it's always been manned somehow.
Yeah.
I was at one wedding where it's like, when you go to the fair or sometimes to the mall or something, and they just have that standalone photo booth with a seat. You go in, sit, hit the button.
Yeah.
They had that there. It wasn't like as heavy to move around. It was its basic unit and then pipe and drape to make the booth. And that one wasn't manned. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, so yeah, like I said, nearly everyone I've been to has been manned, and generally has costume stuff too, so that people can take funny pictures and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so someone calls you up and they want to entry level, whether they're in the event business already or just some dude or lady in their garage. What are you going to try to talk them into?
Well, we typically ask them like what kind of transportation they have to transport the equipment.
Okay.
So that's usually our first question. We don't want to sell them something that they can't move, or they got to go rent a U-Haul or a trailer or something like that, because that obviously adds another element to the whole equation. So we'll ask them that, and then ask them if they basically saw any photo booths that they like. Typically, we went to a wedding and we saw a photo booth there. It had a mirror, or it had LED lights, or it had some certain feature that they really liked. So we would direct them to whichever booth we feel that'll be the best match for them, that they can handle. Because there is a lot of single woman operators that reach out to us that they're doing it themselves and they don't really have help. And so a Mirror 3 photo booth which does not break down and you have to have a pickup truck, that's not going to be a good fit for them. So we really try to ask them those type of questions to see what's going to perfectly work best for them. And then we just recently launched a Chloe photo booth, which is a smaller ring light photo booth that uses a webcam. It's not a DSLR, so it's a little bit better than the iPad photo booths that you see out there, but not as good as the DSLR, which has the professional camera in there. It actually uses the camera that I'm on right now inside of it, and it fits into a small case. It can go in the back seat of any car, and so that one can be dropped off, but it can be used if you're a single operator.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a fan of having props and costumes there or not? Or that does depend on the event?
Yeah, with the COVID stuff, that's obviously, case by case, but we always did props. It's always, people love that, that they get to dress up and put the glasses on and stuff like that. I don't think I can, maybe 1 or 2, or maybe a handful of events that we've done without props. But I mean, most of it, it's like the first thing they ask, like backdrop, the props, the template, that kind of stuff. And you can see the people that really, take care and off the props. I mean, like the business owners who put the effort in getting, high quality props, or they make the prop table look nice. Like when me and my wife used to go out to events, like every 10 minutes you're like, okay, let me go clean the prop table, you know,
Right.
clean up the beers and the peanuts and all the trash that's there, you know, make it look nice, you know.
Right.
I
I
do
I
that.
think the prop thing came along a little after photo booths, because I remember the first few weddings I went to with a photo booth, there was no props, and then there's nothing but props now.
Right.
I personally like to take a picture with whoever I'm with without the props. I'm not a big prop guy, um, but everyone else can use the props. I just want the picture of me and the person I'm with. I don't want it to look all goofy and whatever.
Yeah. And like we now sell like the sign props, you know, people hold, like a lot of people, you know, have, you know, that outlook, you know, with the props and don't want to be silly and stuff, but you can just hold up a sign like, you know, team bride and team groom, you know, you're
Right.
those. So it makes it a little bit more fun to do that. So we have those options, and also those last longer too, because man, we were making like trips to Party City every weekend, you know, and you always get that one or two people at the event, you know, they like take the hat and go to the dance floor, and then you got to go chase them down. Like, come on, bro, everyone's spending so much money on these props, man. Yeah. So
So what is like the brand new person wants to get into this? What is what am I trying to say? The cost of entry, basically, to get, they want the one that's in their back seat. They want the easy one. They're not, they're just testing it out. They're not going to go full scale and be like, oh, I'm going to make $200,000 this year and buy 10 units. They just want to cost of entry just to get in and get their feet wet.
yeah. To do that, and that would, I'll push them to the Chloe photo booth. It's easy, it's easy, portable. It has all the features. It has LED lights. It has the mirror effect. You can easily plug in a printer to that. So that's going to run about 5,000 with the printer. Or if you just do social media, a lot of people are like, hey, I just want to start off without a printer right now, just to see how it goes. You can text the photos, obviously, to the phone or email it right away. So the guests still kind of get their photos, just not a tangible copy. So that, without the printer, it's 4,000. And then with the printer, it's 5,000.
Okay, cool. So that leads me into the recurring costs, because it's not just like you buy this and you're good forever. Like I buy a tent, it could be basically good for a few years and I have to buy anything for it. Photo booth, you're obviously going to be buying paper and ink. Do you have to pay for a subscription or something to the photo booth software or anything?
Yeah, so Darkroom booth. So they're actually located in Dallas. Coincidentally, they're about 15 minutes away from our office. So we work really closely with them. Great company, and so they have, I think it's $100 a year for updates. You get the first year for free, and the updates are optional. Obviously, with the updates come with the new features, right? Like what's popular now is maybe GIFs or boomerangs, that kind of stuff. And so they consistently upgrading the software. So yeah, it's $100 a year would be the ongoing expense. The ink and paper, you can buy it from any supplier that sells it online. It's DMP is the company that we use. They've been in the printer industry for 100 years. They're out of Japan. And so their photo paper, they have distributors that sell it, like B&H, and you can buy it on Amazon and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. And like you said, the props, you're going to be buying props all the time, and backdrops and things like that.
Yeah, but that's just, as your business grows. And I mean, I'm sure you do this and I do this. Like I would sell stuff before, before I even owned it, right? Like we would get a call. Like I remember I started doing uplighting. A lady called us. It was a corporate event. They're like, yeah, we're having it on the 12th floor and we want to light up the whole side of the building. I was like, okay, perfect. Well, we have uplights, and so they're like, okay, well, how much is that? It's like, it's going to be, $1,000. And so I just took that 1,000. I went over to Guitar Center. I bought, 10 or 15 uplights. I bought the multi-outlet extension cord, and then we started renting uplights. That's kind of how, I grew it.
Right. So, I mean, you're saying a few things about like you were a DJ, then the photo booth, then the uplighting. So if people can get their foot in the door with the photo boothing, but once they're there, they're going to see, oh, I can do that. And I could do that too. So like they're doing the photo booth and, hey, let's jump in and do the uplighting too. And maybe DJing. I don't think anyone can just jump into DJing.
Yeah, it takes. I mean, you gotta like it. I like controlling the crowd and being a DJ. Like
I hate some DJs. Like someone requests a song and then the dance floor just dies. The good DJ is you request a song, you play it, you see the dance floor is dead. you let it go for just a little bit and then fade it into the one that people are going to jump on.
Right.
I don't like it when they just let the whole song play because someone requested it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep the party going.
You really do, yeah. It's tough, because then you don't want to let down the guest. You don't know who the guest is. Like, hey, this is the mom of the bride. They paid for the whole. I paid for you. You better play my song.
Yeah, well, I think they would be. I think they're okay with it because I think that inside they are feeling embarrassed that no one likes the song that they picked. So they're happy when it plays for 30 seconds and fades into the oh my god, the one where they go like this. What is that?
Cupid Shuffle. Or this Macarena.
Yeah, Macarena or that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Cupid Shuffle. I was so sick of that song.
All right. So you mentioned you're all about helping people. You're not just trying to sell them a photo booth. You want to get them into this business and know the ins and outs of it, whether that's business stuff or photo booth actual operation. So like, how do they do that? Do you have a Facebook group? Do you have something on your webpage? Or do they just email you?
Yeah, so if anybody needs help or they want to learn more about it or get coaching, mentoring, so we have a Facebook group that they can join. I can send you the link for that. And if they want, more one-on-one coaching, I do offer my inner circle, where I work like one-on-one with them to help them build their business, from scratch, set up their ads, website audits, a big thing. Any type of, business question that they're going to have to grow.
Right. And I'm assuming on the Facebook group, everyone kind of helps each other out.
Yeah, it's a good community that, it's just all about helping people. I mean, there's not competition because most of the people are different states, so everybody's sharing their tips and tricks. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. I usually people on those, like there's a bunch of ones for the event rental business and everyone usually helps each other out. Mm-hmm. Event rental is a little bit different because even if the person is one town over from you, they're still going to help you out because you may need chairs from them and they may need chairs from you. So even though you're competitors, you still help each other out. Have you ever had to sub-rent a photo booth or hire some other company to do something and then you charge more on top of there?
Yeah, actually I did. And I met quite a few friends like that. So when we started to, do pretty good, get a lot of bookings, when you get that call and they're like, yeah, I need a photo booth next week. And, I was like, okay, well, it's going to be 800. Okay, that's good. Here's my credit card. And it's like, you already know you're fully booked. So, yeah, I've hired, I would typically go on Thumbtack. Well, in the past, I would go on Thumbtack, post a request, see who responds. Then I would kind of just look at, the response, the communication, the pictures, see how they run their business. And then, I ended up picking a guy, his name is Dwayne Mitchell, and he did a couple of events for me, and then I met him up one time and I gave him like cash, and I was like, hey man, I actually own a photo booth business, and I've been outsourcing to you. And so we kind of hit it off. We went out for a drink, and then fast forward to today, he's purchased like 4 photo booths from me and he's doing great. So yeah, I think you're going to reach that point at some point, especially next year with all the demand that's going to be there.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of demand. Mm-hmm. Basically, in the tent business, it's going to be basically double. Everyone who had to cancel their events and everyone who was still having events, so it's double.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so obviously you have a photo booth business, but you do also sell photo booths. And honestly, I don't know anything about them. Never really thought about getting into it, but can you just kind of go over some of your photo booths that are available and like what they do and why they're good and things like that?
Yeah, for sure. So like I mentioned earlier, the Chloe, would be more of a starter entry-level photo booth. That one's portable. It does have a webcam, so it's not going to give you the shot that you can put up on top of the fireplace, if you will, but it's still going to get the job done and give you a high quality photo.
So it's good for those little like strips.
Yeah, the strips, the 4x6s, that kind of stuff. I mean, it is a 15 megapixel camera. It's just, like in the past, we've had people like, oh, I want to, blow it up and it's all pixelated. Well, you should have got, the higher package if you wanted that. This is not really, meant for that. That's what a photographer is for. Right. So, we got the Chloe. That one, the selling points of those are, it's lightweight, it's portable, it's very sleek looking. It looks like Apple made it. It's all white. It has a round LED ring light, a colored one, and a white one to for the light for the photos. Next up would be the Fusion, the Prime, and the Prime XL. So these lines of photo booths, they can break down into 6 pieces, and they fit into like a SKB travel case. Those military grade cases with a custom foam. Those ones have bigger screens, the 12-inch screen on there. The Prime XL has a 22-inch screen. Has the DSLR camera, so this is going to be the best quality photo that you can get in a photo booth. Ring flash, flash built in, LED lights, and the portability. Then the next line of photo booths is going to be the mirror photo booths. So we have the Mirror 2 and the Mirror 3, and then the Astro. And so the Mirror 2 is a classic style mirror booth with the golden frame around it. So I think you do chair rentals as well, the throne chairs. Yeah, so it kind of matches the throne chairs like that. The Astro booth is a lightweight booth. It's made out of white aluminum, and it has a LED light going around the mirror that's built into it. And then the Mirror 3 is on the highest end. That one's a real sleek, like a flawless mirror. So it's just one long piece of mirror, like you were to stand in front of like a changing room mirror. And it has a built-in touch screen on it. So we got a pretty wide range. It depends where people want to come in. Some people come in, hey, I'm just getting started. Some people like, I'm only going to service the high-end events. I'm not going to touch anything, that's less than, a couple $100. So most of these photo booths you can rent out, like the Chloe photo booth, you can probably do around 100 to 175, maybe 200 an hour on that one. Depending on which market, of course, across the it's going to be a little bit different. Going into the midsections will probably be about 200 to 250. And then on the high like the high end, like the mirror ones, you can probably do 250 to 300 an hour. So that's the rule of thumb, and that's kind of what the pricing that we kind of go with. And obviously, when the person calls, everybody knows, like, you got to kind of gauge where it is, right? If they're telling me, hey, it's going to be at the Omni in downtown Dallas, like, okay, you got some money to spend, it's going to be a little bit on the higher end. If it's a backyard birthday barbecue party, okay, maybe they're not going to have as strong of a budget, for the photo booth, but I'm not doing anything that weekend, so let me try and, work out a deal with them.
Right. Now, to add the props and stuff, is that kind of just in the price, or you say you want props and you want the special background? Is that like, you upsell?
The props are usually standard. The upsells, I would say maybe like a red carpet and stanchions, maybe a premium backdrop or a different color. What else do we do? That's pretty much.
All right, so that's an idea. Like, when the Hollywood red carpet. So obviously, you buy a 20-foot red carpet or 10-foot. Probably don't need 20-foot. It's just there, like a 10-foot red carpet and a background like you see at a movie premiere or something. And in it is the bride and the graphics for the wedding or the graphics for the corporate event or whatever. And those would all be add-ons that you can also make some money off of. You're already there, so try to get those add-ons.
Yeah, I mean, we would get the backdrops, the custom backdrops like you're describing. Stickerbanners.com is pretty cheap. I think it's $99, and we would charge a customer like $250 to $300 for that. So we're making money on the custom backdrop, and then they can keep it as a souvenir at the end of the night.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's cool. And then the stanchions, you said, and those are fairly cheap to get, and that's just the carpet and the stanchions are just something you're going to have. Right. And you can continue to rent them out.
Exactly.
That's cool. All right. So why don't you tell everyone again, like I said, I'll put it in the description. Tell everyone all your things, your website, the name of the Facebook group, if you want them to go to your Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, you can find us online, photoboothint.com. That's the website to take a look at the photo booths. If you want to get in touch with me, Instagram, I'm always on there at photoboothint or at nextleveljp is my personal Instagram. Feel free to reach out. Also, the Facebook group, the free public one is called 6-Figure Side Hustles. So you guys can feel free to join in there. I'm in there. We're going to be helping a lot of people, start their side hustle, because, having a job is he can't really depend on that, Right. So that's really the free one. And feel free to reach out anytime. Happy to talk. I'll also give you guys my phone number. I'm using this new app that's text only. It goes directly to me if you guys have any questions. That's 972-284-0506. That comes directly to me, and I check that a couple times a day. So if you have a question, feel free to reach out.
All right. So obviously some of these photo booths, are lower cost entry and some are higher. Do you guys have any sort of financing options, or people just got to have the money?
Yeah, so we have great financing. We can get pretty much anyone approved. We just brought on a new company that doesn't even do a credit check. They just go off of your checking account. So we can get people approved. Typically, the monthly payment will be around 100, 200, or 300, depending on how long you choose for. So most of our customers do finance, and you can pay the booth off in about 6 to 8 months. Is
Oh,
what
really?
typically the turnaround time is.
Okay, yeah, because that's kind of scary. Like getting into wedding tents, I had to basically have $20,000 because I couldn't. I might have been able to get financing with the tent company, but not financing with the tables and chairs. So I just took out a loan. But some people just have the $20,000, and that is super scary. This $100 to $300 a month, okay, that's cool, and hopefully, like you're going to get jobs, which you probably will, and why don't you just put your name out there, for 6 months in advance? And when someone calls and says, I need one next week, you say, oh, we're booked up until June. So then you can get a whole bunch of orders 6 months away. And then, boom, I can get this. With that, what is like the turnaround time? Someone calls up and orders one, gets financing. How soon after they get a hold of you can they usually get that photo booth in hands?
Yeah, I mean, we've done the same week delivery. Like if they call like a Monday, or we can ship it out by Friday, so they'll probably get it, the next Monday or Tuesday. We keep a lot of stock. Everything's shipped and built here in Dallas, so yeah, we keep pretty much stock and ready to ship.
Right.
We've met demands like overnight, and there's different ways. Obviously, we can put it on an airplane, Southwest Cargo, or standard shipping, that kind of stuff. We're flexible.
So a week is quick.
Mm-hmm.
What's an average turnaround time look like?
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. All right. So I'm gonna repeat that, guys. So you want to get in the photo booth business. You don't have the money. You're going to do the financing, but you're still kind of scared. January 1st, make your business. Do your Facebook. Do your Instagram. Do all the free things you can do. Start spreading the word. And when people call for February 1st, you just say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm booked up until June 1st. Knowing in your head that June 1st is the day you want it. And you communicate that with Josh. So you have it by June 1st. In the meantime, you're collecting deposits. You're getting more confident that this business is going to grow. And June 1st comes and beyond, you've got a whole bunch of events booked and you didn't actually have to scare yourself. Because you'll be getting in deposits and you'll have time. Plus the financing isn't that much per month. And that you can do that with any sort of rental business. You can say, yeah, I have a tent for a date available August 1st. And you could take deposits in and then take that money and then buy that tent, and same thing. You don't actually have to own the thing right away. It's a little risky, but not really, because if you price yourself right, that's important. Price yourself right. If you don't have the tent or the table or chair or photo booth on that particular day, just things weren't working out, you can subrent or hire another company to come do it and make money on top of them. So that's just an idea. This is kind of off topic. What are those things behind you? Is that like gold records from your music career?
Oh, went platinum.
Platinum?
So the middle one's Inc. 5000. We just won that one this year. And then the 2 records on the side, one of them is for making $1 million renting photo booths. And then the other one is for making $1 million selling photo booths. And this is through ClickFunnels. I'm sure you've heard of them, maybe. ClickFunnels software, yeah.
So you, in 1 year, you made $1 million selling renting photo booths?
No, this was over a 3-year period.
Okay, over a 3-year period. But you made $1 million renting photo booths.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, what are you at now? Are you on the way to get the second $1 million award?
So they have a new award for $10 million. We're supposed to get it this year.
Oh, really?
We fell short. So
yeah, obviously.
Maybe next year for sure. Yeah.
So they have an award for $1 million, then the next one is $10 million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the next
one? They won't let you get the same one over and over again. You got to get to the next tier.
Right. What's the next tier after $10 million?
25.
25. Okay. It's not $100 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's possible. It's possible to do it.
Right, definitely. And everyone, we're going to be going live on Tuesday to answer direct questions because I can't answer any of these questions that people have. So check it out on Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Josh is going to be back on to answer direct questions about a photo booth business. All right. Well, thank you for being on and have a good night.
All right. Thank you.